Hey guys, sorry if it's been a while since I've done a vlog. And I know today I was going to talk about my past, and I guess you could say part of my... give you guys a kind of a background check on me, kind of, or, give you guys a great idea of how my life has been within the last 5 years, and just help you guys understand where I come from on a lot of things, probably, and why I do some of the things I do. But there's a couple things I've been wanting to talk about. First off, I just got done watching a live stream from that guy that I was talking about that, as far as right now, he's been a great inspiration in general. I mean, just for several reasons, not just a small reason. I know Chris Perillo of Locker Gnome has been a great inspiration to a lot of people. He still is. But this other guy is it's from a different side of things, different perspective and everything. And for me, I guess you could say in a much more deep way and everything. And, it was before I really got into YouTube. I mean, I had my original intention. Started out simple, and then I put it with this, and then I learned a lot, and then it just opened. I mean, it was almost like, just a seed that went into the ground and then turned into a flower, it seemed like. I know I don't usually talk about that kind of stuff, but anyways, I just got done watching his live stream, played some Battlefield 3 with him. It was really cool. And I was on the enemy team to start off, and I accidentally killed one of his friends, and it was funny. But we had a fun time. I switched teams finally once I got the chance to, and it was really fun and everything. And I guess you could say one of my friends is talking to me about something, and it gets so weird that I feel like I'm one of those people that overly thinks things, but at the same time I think I look at things from an overview, a more realistic perspective, in a way that, helps things make sense. And I guess you could say I'm one of those people that likes to put several things together into one ultimate plan. That's why when people, ask me the simple question of, what is your dream? And my answer is always going to be, I don't have a dream, I have multiple dreams. And my ultimate dream is to accomplish all of them and use them all together in a unique way where they all benefit each other and help overcome and accomplish several goals and other things. So, things just keep on unfolding. I feel like life is just putting out a red carpet in front of me. Not exactly, but, just doors and doors keep on opening. And it's almost as if, or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, multiple things keep on happening within life, and, it just keeps on opening new doors to new things. But I keep on taking them all with me and holding them all close to me and keeping them all, close in mind. So then, I can, somehow, like, remember this, like, oh, that was really terrible, if I did this would really benefit this, and, just a lot of things. And, it also has to do with the microphone that you're asking me about. There's a lot of things I really want to do, and, I really feel like there's probably too much I want to do, but I feel like it's not unrealistic because everything keeps on going together in such a unique way, and I like the idea of, doing things that will just help everybody. And, there's a lot of things I want to do in the long run. Some things I just want to happen as soon as possible. I feel like, if I don't do things anytime soon, or I don't see any, enough progress, let's just say, then I feel like it's just going to disappear. It's just going to go away. And hear that from a lot of older people, your parents probably, being like, oh, we all, said we were going to go back to our high school and visit our, teachers when we were older, and that kind of stuff. And, there's a lot of stuff that just happened and we forget about them over time. And I don't want to be one of those people. I remember every single bit of it and, see everything come through. And it's, and again, these aren't exactly things that are just, selfish things or, oh, I just want to start a business or do this, anything that's selfishly, I want to, help a lot of people. I want to help make a lot of things happen and see things come through and help solve some issues. And, I guess you could say YouTube does have a great part to do with that. It really does. And it doesn't just have to do with the communities and the people in it and everything, but also just has to do with, how people, work together and everything, and the simple common things that we all see as, just a problem as producers and people that, create entertainment and just videos in general. And, there's a lot of things I want to do that, will help out people and hopefully make a big difference overall. And, again, all of them work together in such unique ways. And it's hard sometimes. It gets to the point sometimes that when someone asks me a simple question, I won't feel like answering that without giving them, explaining everything, because that might have to do with a big plan. And if I tell them one thing and if they ask a certain question like why this or why that or just something, it'll make me feel like I'm going to have to tell them every bit about it. But I don't want to tell them too soon, not to get their hypes too up, thinking that it's going to happen right away or something like that. Or anything like that, or just for them to expect it very soon, such as when I told you about the Toonami promos. That's just a small example, but I'm just kidding. But you know, and plus, you know, I don't want to spoil it or anything like that, or anybody possibly take things away from me. But I have been lucky that, you know, even though I have some really weird friends in different ways, I know we're all weird in our own ways, and we all have friends that are weird because they must be weird to be friends with us, right? But you know, I'm lucky enough to see that, you know, none of my friends have really, you know, taken advantage of me. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen. And that's why I'm a bit careful on, you know, who I'm friends with usually. And, you know, again, there's just a lot of things I want to do. And I just don't want it to be wasted or taken advantage of it and just put into the wrong hands or something like that. And that's why, I guess you could say that creates this sort of antisocial side of me, just a little bit. You know, but I am very open minded and I do like to put things out there and everything. And, you know, I have released a lot of information, you know, in just small little bitty packages every now and then over time without various social sites and other places, personal messages if someone answered their question, all kinds of things, you know, and just, you know, I've released a little bit, and I think opening up is good, and I'm going to have to anyways, you know, to see things through. And, you know, YouTube has a great part to do with it and everything. You know, my ultimate dream and just to see everything happen. And there's just so many things I want to do. I know I say that many times, but there seriously is. You guys have no idea. I feel like I'm freaking Bill Gates or Bill Gates on steroids because it's like in multiple areas or something, and it's just all over the place. You know, I don't just think them small, you know, from a small way, or just all think about the small main things or the obvious things. I really go deep into it. If I was to start business, I would figure out exactly how things are going to be operated, what kind of prices based upon what percentage or rates and other things, and what percentage of the, you know, profit's going to go towards this and that, and what kind of brands we're going to be getting into the store, and how things are going to operate, the hours, the kind of employees that we're going to hire, and the kind of things that would run through, you know, like I don't know exactly, say test or something like that, you know, and just everything through usually. And, again, YouTube has a big part to do with it in such a way that I think is going to be so unique and so amazing. And, you know, there's just a lot of things I want to do. And one of them has, you know, like I said earlier, there was that question that my friend asked me, and you asked me, you know, one of my other friends, the one that you met on Skype, or not Skype, but Steam, and you asked me some questions, both having to do with something. And I'm going to open up at least a little bit right now to you guys. And, you know, one of their dreams I want to do has to do with the, you know, YouTube in general, but it's going to be outside of YouTube. It's going to be something that's going to be unique, and it's going to be something to help anybody that makes YouTube videos. And it's going to be a very unique community that's going to have a little bit of everything. People from the anime community, tech news, you know, anything, you know, tech reviews, anything, you know, gaming news, as well as other things, you know, and just, you know, I think that's one of the, you know, even though I have multiple hobbies, you know, and everything, that's one of the main reasons I like having multiple channels, because I get to express myself in any way possible instead of feeling like, oh, I have to go with this group and only be in this area of the community or something like that, you know. But, you know, one of the reasons is because, you know, I feel like, you know, as I learned so much, you know, about the communities in general in various areas, I feel like that's going to, you know, be very useful because it's going to give me, you know, a more realistic, you know, perspective that's not going to be biased anyway. So let's just say if I, you know, had a website and it was to help YouTubers and things, you know, all over the community in multiple, you know, areas, whether it's anime, gaming, tech, anything, you know, or at least a lot of things. And, you know, it would give me a way, like, let's just say people from this community came over to this channel or over to this page or this area of the community and start bashing and starting trash. But then they say this, and, you know, it just goes back and forth, you know, because I can look at things and understand things a bit from both sides, you know, it'll help me much more as far as, you know, making, you know, the best choices instead of it just being like, well, you know, as a gamer, I wouldn't want these assholes to do this. Sorry for my language, you know, but, you know, just, you know, I think that'll really help in the long run, and also understand things that, you know, are, you know, the very small, minor, different things, you know, that are in different areas that, you know, they might need more, or they get more traffic in this way because of this, or, you know, they need to spend more money on this kind of stuff, and these people need these kind of sponsors, and just, you know, many things, you know, and I feel like in a way, you know, it'll at least, you know, help me make sense of everything instead of just saying things based upon what the mass majority of people say or what you see on the news and TV and that kind of stuff, or what you just pay some guy to investigate and find out or something like that, you know. And that'll help me come up with better things that'll help benefit people the most, and, you know, just make things better overall. And, you know, there's just think about it, yeah, there's just a lot of things I want to do, and, you know, I want to help so many people and do so much, But, as time goes on, time seems like it's going a lot faster because I'm getting older and everything. But, I do see progress, and I definitely do think everything's going to pull through. I really do. And, I just want to make sure everything happens, as the way I want to see them through and everything. And I'm going to be one of those people that's almost like OCD, like, oh, it must happen this way. And if it doesn't happen this way, then we must change it in a way that will at least be beneficial in a lot of ways, instead of it just being beneficial in one way, but a total, like, negative effect in all these other areas. It's like, well, we'll just raise your paycheck by, this much money, or how much you get paid each month, your salary, by this much. But in return, we're going to, cut out all of this. None of that stuff. I'm not that kind of person. I really am not. And, I like the idea of, just... And one of the unique things, I think, is that, if I see all these come through, there's going to be businesses that I'm going to want to start and get running and everything. And there's going to be, areas in the communities that I'm wanting to see grow and help out in so many ways, and there's a lot of unique, like, chances and possibilities I want to create for people. Like, this is kind of a small spoiler, or a pretty big one for me. But imagine if, let's just say if you're like Linus Tech Tips, you owned a store and it's like, really, you do product unboxings and reviews all the time, and because of that you gain so much experience throughout various products and everything, so you have a much better overview of things. What if you were nice enough to, like, let's just say, not just use that as a possibility to create content and everything, but also as a way to be like, hey guys, if you were, at a store like this, what would you want? What brand would you choose for a gaming headset, or which, headsets in this price range would you choose? And just give them that kind of power, or give them some way to, be able to do more than they possibly think they could. And, make things that are, I guess you could say, better for the community in general, and just being like, well, this is, only this much money, so it'll be a better investment. Be more like, at least look things from business perspective, also considering theirs, be like, okay, this one is not quite as expensive as these, but it seems like everyone really likes it, so I'm going to go with that. Or if it's like, oh, this is way too expensive, even from an investor standpoint, actually paying for it and everything, even if I resold, I wouldn't make very much profit at all, or something like that, and just ask them to vote again, but not be like too greedy, being like, oh, we have to make 20 times profit off of everything, or something ridiculous like that. And again, there's just a lot of things I want to do, there's just various other areas I haven't even talked about, but, I just had one of those days, I just... I got reminded of a lot of things, and just, there's a lot of things I seriously do want to talk about. And I will definitely want to talk to you guys about it over time, but, I just want to see things through, and that's another reason I feel like YouTube's a big part of it. Not just because I've learned so much, I've gained so much friends, and, just growing to be a part of the community, and just meeting so many awesome people in the community, and just being on live streams, and playing video games with, some of my... favorite producers on YouTube, or just YouTubers is the right word, and just, it's really awesome. And, I'm not gonna, I'm trying my best to at least do things at a rate and a way where I don't go too much in one direction, care too much about money or anything like that, or anything like that. And, at least go on a rate that makes sense, and just, have a good level of progress that's good enough. And one thing I was also going to say is, I also like the idea of, if I own multiple companies and all these websites and communities and everything like that, even if one area is doing terrible, it's like TV channels when the ratings go down and they're doing terrible, or this company's doing terrible and their sales are bad, because, I have a realistic perspective, I will know what's necessary for what area or something like that, or I could be like, okay, I'll take some of this money and put it over here just because their growth has grown by this much, so they only need this much, and just do things in a way where, it could just help balance things out, so then, everything can happen the way it needs to, instead of just, each, area having their own issues, because there's a lot of things, that different areas of the community have problems with, fanboys, copyright issues, or, people bashing them, calling them gay, or attacking them for being like that, if they're into pop culture and that kind of stuff, and just so many things. And yeah, there's a lot of things, just information going throughout my head all the time. And I'm gonna try this video right here because it's been a really long one, but I'll try to answer you guys very soon, give you guys an idea, what's happened, with my life within the last 5 years, and talk to you guys about the products and how it has to do that with what were my plans. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.